Okay, starting the stream now. The plan is to do a contest render creation, and basically I'm just streaming for my own potential rewatching. There's no one on the stream, so it's all good. So I'm going to go over, and I think we're going to get into the Platinum Anniversary 2018 Render Contest. Going to go look at the rules and regs while I load up Dash Studio and whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see here. Reading the all images must be new and contain at least one item released during the PC anniversary promotion. Well, hey, no problem there because I got a ton of stuff during that. Broker items, bundles, freebies, etc., etc. Okay. So I think I like the idea of doing something retrograde. It's autumn, so autumn seems like a great place to start with the inspiration. And let's call it fall. There's a let's go forest. Forest. Here we go. This is a great looking forest, and I recently used this in another render. I didn't purchase this during the purchase time, but there's lots of things that I did. So here's another one that I might. I don't know. That's pretty big. So let's see if I can kind of start on something I started working with earlier. True autumn. I converted this forest, fall forest, into iRay recently. I guess I will go ahead and post up my live link in case any of the 3 or 4 people in the render forum actually are able to check it out. Even that's more effort than I want to do just because, you know, check it out. There we go. What? Looks like Reggie's on here. Okay. So I've exploited this pretty good with this character. I don't think I'm going to be using her. Just give me a second here. Gonna Disciple3D. Gonna share. Of course, I probably won't have anyone join from that, but we'll share it anyway. Let's see here. Just about done with this. There we go. Okay. So I did have some pretty bitch and ass renders produced from this right here, which I'll share. I've shared those on my Gribro's Ground Render forum in the forums on the showcase on DAZ Studio. But here's a few things that I've done. I'm really digging the Mail-In 8 character in general. This is actually an entry for another contest on a Facebook kind of fan board, the 3D Jungle, 3D Artist Jungle, something like that. So there's that. And I'm still using Jack Tomlin's render server, so I'm making these pretty large and then just fixing any imperfections and sizing them down. I couldn't resist the idea of improving. All right, like for example, so look at this. So I didn't notice that this actually, I was thinking about deforcing this. I did not realize that that actually had a morph built in to let me do that. So one of the things that I actually need to do is replace this image, and we'll do that right now. Let's see, so man, I've really been enjoying this access to the render server. I wish I could afford it all the time. So I think this one was called Dragon. Let's just make sure that, in fact, yep, so there it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to download this, do a little work, do a little dance, make a little, thanks Reggie. Get down tonight, woo! Man, it's this time next Saturday, I'll be sitting in Nashville in Music Row, just about to start my 8-hour session at a recording studio there. Kind of a bucket list item. It's I was going to tell you the name of the studio. Oh, it's Benchmark Studio, which is a pretty major. It used to be Emerald Studio, but it's right on Music Row, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. And you know, just going over my final notes for my own preparation. And I've got a buddy that's charting everything out for me, and unfortunately, we're doing that the night before, and that I'm not super chuffed about because I worry about ideas not getting across. And like for those guys, this is something they do every day. For me, it's like a big deal, you know. Okay, so one thing about it, these things render, you know, faster than it would render on my machine, but man, does it take a long time to download these. Just gonna fix this out. Oh man, here's one that I did that I thought turned out pretty good. I haven't even downloaded it yet. So this is an add-on morph, I think from P3D, that basically it's kind of lost in the expression, but makes the character look like Lucy Liu, which is a big plus for me because I think she's really cool. I did color variations of this that really were cool. Dun, 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 dun. That's fall right there, y'all. And that could totally, I haven't shared that, that could totally be my entry, but I want to do something completely off this deal here altogether. Here, get my mug out of the shot. There we go. Forest elements. Here's what we're doing. So I'm in my downloads. I just got that black option downloaded. Now lots of times I'll take it into Photoshop and just auto-correct the colors and things like that and resize it, but I don't really have to do that because DeviantArt does that for me when it comes to terms of presenting it in a size that fits on the browser. This is actually, let's go back one. So if we go here and I go to edit the main file, change main file, where are you? Oh. There we go. You have to change this right here or it'll limit your size to 1024. which is not big enough. I like to show it better than that. Although on Disciple3D, you're only allowed to show it up to 800 pixels wide. But I just sized that down with HTML, or as they say in Canada, HTML. Okay, so update this. And my little flow for doing stuff like this is just to go in here and get the final image, grab that URL, which is the JPEG itself, then I'll just pop over to Disciple3D. And this is also how you can find my render form on Disciple3D if you frequent that place and you care to comment. It's actually in the Art General, Dash Forms General Art Studio, and then Gray Bros Ground. This is where I put all my stuff. I just paste in that URL, call it, resize it, align it left. Bob is your uncle. Let's see if Sonia is around. Ooh, almost messed up there. Okay, so that's corrected, that's corrected. So now I think I can move on to the subject at hand, which is this, the Platinum Anniversary Render Contest. So pretty much all the bundles, I did purchase several of the bundles, and I'm thinking, so I got through these phases where I really want to do stuff with, I'm going to go ahead and just take her out of this scene and just call it, turn that off. Uber environment's useless when you have, well, you know what? I'll leave it on because it just gives those lights, but when you're ready to render, you want to get rid of that and just use your IRA dome. So let's save this as Autumn IRA. Okay, cool. Now I can come back to that. Now I have had to mute my mic there for a second. Someone was walking in. I'm on a V3 M3 kick here lately. I don't know why. Oh, that's cool. I have a ton of stuff for V3 for sure. That's really where I first started getting into buying content. Okay, so let's go down to See if I can find her. Oh, I've got her installed. Hmm. So, guys, I saw Bob Dylan and his band last night. My second time um, seeing them, and they were freaking awesome. Very classy. Bob was playing kind of a baby mini baby grand piano, kind of in a position between sitting and standing, where he could stand or sit on it. And then he had, in addition to that, a steel guitar player who also played guitar and banjo during certain songs, and also fiddle, violin, whatever. And then he had freaking Charlie Sexton, one of the greatest, guitar players on the planet. And then he had an incredible bass player and the drummer who was just absolutely off the chain. That was so impressive. Really, really great. Really great. Did I mention how great it was? I need something to convert. I don't think this is going to do it. Array. This is array converter for Genesis. Converter. I think one of these says generation 4, so let's see what we can do here. Of course, what I'm doing here is trying to make the Not at all what I'm expecting here. Trying to make the character Iray. Now, I've kind of made a version of Iray, but I really needed to be. Maybe let's get a good character. Let's see what we got here. That should have materials with it, which is what I'm going for. Cannot believe I don't have some character texture for V3. Could be how I'm defining it. I guess if I check this, it would filter by context. Feels like I might be missing something fairly obvious here. Let's go to the store. I'm just probably not. I know I've got to have Victoria 3 characters. 3. Just not naming it right, I guess. You know, just had a kind of an epiphany here. There's no reason that I need to work actually on Victoria 3. Let's try something here. Because I have a V3 shape for Genesis. Right? So let's see what that's all about. So there it is, V3 and M3 shape. I don't know if that's supposed to be just a clone, but what if I load Genesis and see if I can make it shaped like V3, and then I'm going to go back and, well, either way it should work with the clothing made for V3. I don't know about the maps, but it seems like I don't have any of those anyway, so let's go on down. So let's see. Okay, let's do this. Genesis. And we'll just go with female. Okay. Now let's do shaping. See what we've got for if it's called V3. Victoria 4, Victoria 3. Here we go. I think we can fairly well dispense with that now. All right. She's missing some very important items right here, though, so I don't know what's up with that. That's weird. Feminine sample. All right, let's go. Now we'll do our IRE conversion. First, let's put this original outfit I had on, which was I was going to go with the steampunk because that's something that I purchased during. I hope that's not just a. Let's find out. We're going to find out now. I think it might just be a. All right, aviatrix. I might have bought just the materials. I try to be careful about that. Matrix filter. Aviatrix for V3. Nope. It is supposed to be all figures come with texture, major body shape, and more. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's figure out what's going on here. Is it because they're poser files? Wait a minute. Well, that worked. However, all right, fits, unparent. I could see this being a problem. Not a great fit. Okay. Okay, so that much is good. Okay, we can work with that. There we go. Get that. Want to get that strap underneath there. All right, so that's holding up okay. Let's see if we can get some of this stuff on here. Oh, now we're finally getting some sort of auto fit action. Finally, here we go. I guess because the other ones were props. Tory 3. I don't know what that is. There we go. Now, this right here just needs to happen. But it's not. Why is that not working? Can't see it. It's totally not working. It is a PZ2 file, which might be part of the problem. I have a recently installed a script that's supposed to deal with that. Alright, so let's kind of go. If it's just a cassette, the quicker solution might just be to find material. That's just a material. And I don't know what's supposed to go on. Maybe these are materials. Ah, here we go. Leggings. I go materials. Get those leggings and make them. No. Kind of kit bashing here a little bit. Looks like I can use part of this Magus outfit to kind of make up for the parts of the original outfit that aren't working or don't seem to be working. So go here. Go back to materials, wardrobe. Uh-oh. Mega shorts, yeah. Kind of going with blue though, aren't we? Yeah. There we go. Now, back to her, feminine. Just want the skin texture. There we go. Okay. Not like really in love with that or anything, but I could live with it. Oh, no. Huh. Strange. Well, that is not at all what I intended to happen there when I applied that character, so undo preset. Oh, you know, one thing I can do, I know I recently got some characters that were strictly Genesis, and it was because they were so cheap, and they filled some niches I didn't have, and I mean, 37 cents, you know what you're going to do. So I definitely have textures that I can use on Genesis. I love going back to the old figures, man. I don't know why, but I really like it when I'm able to use them, and it's just super cool. Man, lots of textures for Genesis. Sorry, I just remembered my mic was out of position. Yeah, so cool to be able to pull out. I'm glad we moved to Genesis because I have tons of characters for Genesis, which I've largely never used. So it's always a bonus to be able to get a hold of those guys and make some cool renders. Feels like I'm falling down the rabbit hole. Oh, I've definitely used that Jamie a little bit because it's got blue eyes like mine. And for my character, I used it as just the eyes, so cool stuff. Although in this case, I'm just trying to make a, I like that hair. Just trying to make a, maybe like a driver for an airship is what I got in mind. Stalker Girl Guns. Did not realize that was for Genesis. I bought this product like 3 times now since it was early days on Rendo. Let's go over here now. Tori for V5. Let's see what she looks like skin-wise. Looks pretty good. Can't see that anyway. Shaping. Ooh, let's stay with the V3 shape. Okay. There we go. Now I know I've got a converter product to get this into iRay. Now, there we go. But for some reason, all the stuff is not here. I don't know what's going on here. This is crap. I'm not interested in transferring genitalia. I'm interested in converting the texture. I don't know what that's all about. Let's try this one. iRay. Okay, that seemed to work. Alrighty. Back to, definitely gonna need some shoes, wardrobe. Remember how when you had to drag the clothing over top of them, or do the old fit to, because it didn't automatically conform. Not sad, those days are gone. There should be some blue. That's all I was looking for right there. Real cool, real cool. Okay, so I love it when smart content works the way it's supposed to. Which isn't every day, that's for sure. Okay, poses. There's got to be a lot more poses. Of course, I just use these for a base when I get the character where I want the character. Oh man, I did not notice that. A lot of these were Genesis friendly poses. Oh yeah, man. Genesis works natively up to Genesis 3. Then I think you need clones to make it work on Genesis 8. Well, it will work. If you go through the process, you can conform your M4 clothes to Genesis, then you can conform the Genesis. You can resave them or just leave that in the scene. Put a Genesis 2 in there and conform it right over to Genesis 2 from Genesis 1, telling it, oh, it was for Genesis, the original, and so on and so forth up through 8. You can definitely do that. Hadn't played with the super suit nearly enough either. Lycan Hunter. Let's go back and see if I got any better materials for these leggings. No, not what I wanted to do. Okay, so leggings. Oh, that's cool. You can get the super suit very cheap nowadays. That's for show. Let's see here. Oh, this looks cool. Looking for some sort of steampunk-esque setting. So, Cherie, what we're doing is we are creating an entry for this. Yep. Download's slow. Probably dies because I am on the backbone. I don't know if I mentioned, but I saw Bob Dylan last night. It was pretty awesome. At kind of a smaller theater kind of venue too. I saw him in a Coliseum last time, like 20 years ago, and this was by far the superior experience. I don't know who Charles is either, guys. Reggie said, hi, Charles. Who's Charles, dude? Okay. Merge into scene. Oh, cool. Let's see. I don't know who this pose is for, but we're about to find out. Haha. Yep. Hey, now. Sweet. It was for Genesis. Man, shit just happens sometimes the way it's supposed to. That's crazy. Okay, gotta come up with a cool concept for a. Well, I love that there's already a place for passengers and poses for them. So as long as I use Genesis, hey, that could be very easy setup. So let's go ahead and save this scene before I just make a really big mistake. We'll save this as Brent Contest. I've got PC contests in here. Let me just go ahead and, yeah, just save that. So I think what I might do now is just kind of go back to the old Genesis and perhaps figure. I'm going to build these characters in place, which is not something I usually do, but they're so lightweight. I think I can pull it off. Installed. Okay, we got people, mail. Okay. Passenger 1, 2. Oh, cool. I even noticed this had like a Airbus type compartment. We'll stick to the upstairs though, passenger 1. That's cool. Now we'll go back here. We got that guy. Load a new figure, yes. Passenger 1. Interesting how different that second figure is, huh? Just based on the difference in size and scale. Okay. Now I'm just going to duplicate these guys and move them around, and then we'll dress them in different outfits. See if the old machine can handle that. Hopefully it will. Just give them a little something to distinguish them for now. This might be a bit of trouble. We'll see. Hey, are we there yet? Okay. And then just duplicate this guy. Duplicate. The thing to have done, I guess, and I may go back and do it if this doesn't work, would have been to address them and then given them close and then like made a node instance to the whole group. Okay. So to go back. Alright, so now let's go with one of these dudes selected. Actually, maybe one in front would be best. And type in Steam. Not loving that. Need more options. Steampunk Cowboy. That's funny. It's hilarious. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's just textures. Alright, let's see if we can get something basic on these cats. Oh yeah, I just know this is not a great looking outfit. I've used this recently. So the pants are not as important. Let's see if the shirt can conform decent and look okay. What? I keep forgetting that you have to do the old drag and drop methodology here, which is kind of hard to do. Let's turn the dragging off. There we go. Okay. Well, that's not working at all. And I don't know why. Okay. Not at all working. Okay, so we'll abandon that outfit. Let's see what this does. What the crap is going on here? These old poser products, sometimes it's a little bit hinky getting them to actually work. CR2s get confusing. Then that looks like it did something. Okay. These are from Michael 4. Accept. Okay. Well, let's see if there's different types of, back in the CR2 days, sometimes they would make the pants actually different meshes with different textures loaded, which was really whack, but that happens sometimes. Man, this is a hot mess. Hot mess. Nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that bullshit. It's just going to make a whack file. Alright, let's just get out of the word Steam and just go with something that we can just put pants on them. I'm not too terribly concerned right now with that part. So let's get a wardrobe. We know we got 3 or 4 different sets of pants. Full body. There should be like a bodysuit would be ideal. Well, that doesn't look steampunk. Hey, the super suit might be a workable option here. We were just talking about it. Oh, wait. I think I have an idea here. The ninja suit's pretty sleek. It's for Genesis 2 because I have that reverse shape clone. I think I can put it on these guys. That might be the easiest, simplest thing. So I'll tell you guys an interesting story while we wait. Today someone came into our store. It's a person that knew me from when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And in just a moment, she was just saying who she was, and I realized I recognized her. Okay, so it was the wife of a guy that used to work for my dad, a really cool guy actually, who was murdered, not just murdered, tortured and murdered over a $300 marijuana debt. And so, in the moment that it dawned on me, I was like, yeah, you don't forget the only person you've ever known personally that was murdered. And so it all came back to me. It was really freaky. Terrible situation. This is why people say weed is not dangerous. I'm just like, au contraire. Okay. There we go. Boom, shakalaka. Genesis 2 male. Hang on now. There's Genesis 2 female. Why is it not giving me Genesis 2 male? There it is. Boom. Genesis 2 male. Interesting. Adjustments. Oh man, some of these clothes you need to do the you need to manually apply a smoothing modifier, and that's something I've gotten so used to not having to do anymore. Dadgummit, it's a little bit tricky sometimes. Alright, gonna get serious about this. Add smoothing modifier. Okay, that seemed to do the trick. Then duplicate node. Fit to Genesis faux. There we go. Weird, the smoothing modifier did not go with it that time. Hmm. Okay. Drag him back on. I don't know who this is for, but we're going to figure it out. Apparently it's for freaking Genesis. Yeah, buddy. Make sure I got the right guy here. Riders. Go Steam Riders. Go Steam Riders, go. Um, Still feel like I need to convert this vessel to IRE materials. Convert dragon. Converter. You guys are loading on the sugar, aren't you? It reminds me I've actually got to eat my prep meal. I'm doing meal prepping to help with the weight loss, and yeah, it's not always a lot of fun, frankly. Okay, find matches, apply presets. Awesome script, by the way, if you guys don't have it, the RSSY 3 to light to IRE converter. Quick problem solver. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to send this to the old IRE server. Well, as much as I hate it, it's time for me to go eat one of those meals. My kid did my cooking for me, and he actually oversalted or over-peppered my chicken, so I'm not chuffed about that, but I gotta eat it. It's gotta happen. Doing my 5th workout of the week here, maybe at 4 o'clock. Be right back, guys. Gonna grab some more tea. Achoo. Sorry, I'm trying to get we got some like sriracha spice, but it's gotten a little bit old. So I'm trying to like get it broken up where I can apply it to my very plain lunch today. Oh, my trainer, he's got a short memory. I thought we were working out at 4, and apparently that's when he's going to be off or something like that. Apparently I'm going to have to work on this every time I want to use it. That's not cool. I don't know, it's kind of coming apart. Sriracha! Cool thing about this render server is that once it gets all that geometry up there, you can spin off new cameras and make little minor changes into the scene, and those will go almost immediately. So that's kind of neat. Okay, about to eat some chicken here, y'all. Gonna mute the mic for your benefit and mine. Nom 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 nom. So after the whole fiasco with someone essentially telling me off for something that I said on one of these videos, I'm not going to be, I will be archiving them for my own usage online, but basically the only way to see them will be able to catch them live or like in the hour or so right after before I privatize them. So sucks it's got to be that way, but yeah, I just can't be having, I mean, I don't know who it was, but somebody in one of these chats went and talked to somebody else and maybe misrepresented something I said is all I can gather, because I got a really nasty message from the person, and I'm just not about playing that. I don't have time for drama. So unfortunately you won't be able to go back and watch these, but and you know, a lot of them are just me working, but some of them have some pretty good tutorial stuff, and actually some of them are parts that we put into tutorials that we release. So some of the building and working things out is on here. It's a good tool, and the idea is the people that have access to the forum pretty much are the ones that, you know, we'll be sharing with on here. And so yeah, that's just what's up. I'm not happy about it, but that's the only way I know to avoid drama like that, when I can get told off for complimenting somebody's work, basically. And yeah. Okay, you guys saw that took like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Now that that geometry and everything's up there, little things like this, creating a new camera to render. It's no problemo. It happens very quick. So, actor. So like the this guy said something to her, right? So she's giving him a nasty look in response to, like, shut up and let me drive, right? So I create a new camera. Call it something I can easily figure out. Turn on that. Most likely it will be correct almost out of the chute. Just to be sure, I'm going to turn off the dragon for a second. Ooh, it was not right. It tried to focus on the guy behind her. So I got to fix that. So here we go. We want him to be in kind of like out of focus, but not totally out of focus. So this is how you can work really fast. Like if you were making a comic or something, you could have these cameras pre-made before you ever purchased your month. You hop on there and then you just spend time going from camera to camera to camera, and you know the upload time's like a minute for each of these after you've already got the scene up there. So that's the really powerful part of it. Let's look CU cam, and we'll turn this headlamp off. We'll turn dragon on, and we'll go back here, give this one a unique name, Steam Riders Pilot CU for close-up. Pop back over here, add to queue. Now, as it turns out, I have lower priority because I didn't want to pay for the extra priority when his server's not busy all the time. And as it turns out, right at this moment in time, someone with a higher priority than me has got two. Well, they're actually on their last render. This one must be a hell of a render because I noticed it took 6 hours to complete the one they sent up before. But it really doesn't matter to me because it's just a matter of putting my stuff up there. When when I come up in the queue, boom, I got two that I did this morning before I left the house. This person popped in between that time and this time, and then I got one here starting what you just saw. And then as soon as that one hits, anything I send up now is going to come up behind this one unless this other person is still doing them. So yeah, it's a good methodology, and I can sit here and just spin off like enough for a little comic strip or whatever I'm trying to do. So it's pretty useful. You'll see how quick it goes up. It'll just be a matter of minutes. Definitely won't be the big send off like it was before. So we'll try to watch this. Oh, already done. So if I want to pop around in the cockpit, get some other angles. It's funny how those bodysuits don't show through the glass. I like the idea that we can see the wing through. Through the side glass. Call this something like bridge cam. Okay. Just for posing. ease of pose, I will turn off that. Turn this on. Also, if you turn off extra scene things, it lets the camera guess a little more accurately about what you're trying to focus on, and then your adjustment's much smaller. So just kind of keeping in mind. It's funny because I'm totally thinking in terms of making a film, and I just can't stop myself. That's who I am, you know. And I'm thinking in terms of giving her some mini school gestures, just so we can sort of see what she's thinking. And I'm thinking in terms of a scene, like she's already kind of started laying down the law on these dudes. And now we're going to see that she's putting a little sass on them, along with the, it's like, hey, who's driving? And we'll just, oh, check this out. With all that turned off, I can go ahead and make another angle here that'll be like super tight on her hand and all. We don't want to take her hand completely off the little tricks of the trade. Just your cam. Boom, shakalaka. Gesture cam. And we will, before I turn the light off, I'll turn the dragon back on just to see that everything's cool. The frag knock. Here we go. Oh. Damn, I did need to adjust this and I didn't even notice it before now. That's okay. We won't see that her other hand's not on there in this angle. So that's cool. Gesture cam. Then all I really have to do is turn off the light off. Call this gesture. Apparently I don't know how to spell anymore. Go right here, add to queue. Sometimes I'll make a series of renders like this, and then, so my workaround for not being able to afford this render service all the time is to have multiple cameras. I have to pretty much go with what the pose is, but I can set it up to have, like, say 3-4 images render while I leave to go work out or whatever. Come back hours later, your computer's done it by using a render script that will render all the cameras in a scene. That's pretty groovy. I've used that, and in essence, it's a lot like having the render service. How would someone make money off of art like mine? To be honest with you, I'm not really familiar with yours. Let me go look at your, you got some examples? Because I actually do have some recommendations. You got to be kind of at a certain level, but if you're patient and you don't mind having like sporadic work, one thing that you can do that I've personally done is you can get into making novel covers for like self-published authors. I would have to figure out who to recommend you to, but at one point I've probably made 3 or 4 of these. They're super, like, it takes weeks to get through one of these projects because you'll get a request. Usually it's a publishing company, and you don't make very much at all. I mean, I think the most I may ever have made on a cover was $40. And there's all kinds of revisions, but it's a good starting point if you're at a certain level. You got to be kind of like at least able to build some facsimile of what they ask you for. This is why fast prototyping definitely comes in handy. But if you can build like a scene, if somebody says, "Hey, I want a grass hut with a bottle of water floating out in the lagoon," and in the bottle it says like this label or whatever, it's a whiskey bottle of a certain kind of rum or whatever. If you can do stuff like that and you put it together, you know, it's only going to make you better, and you'll make a little money off of it. That's a very direct way to earn things. Another thing is, if you are on DeviantArt, you can do what's called commissions on there, and you know, I'm not saying you're going to make much money, and people might want to have you render some really strange things that you might not want to render. Who knows? I never got so much into that at all, really. But so bridge cam, just going to turn the light off here. Oh, and I wanted to turn her neck, didn't I? I wanted her to kind of be looking at... Where's she at? Neck. There we go. Close enough for rock and roller. Call this bridge. You know, another way is when you build out scenes. If you ever build a pose to making your scene, then save the poses. Put together logical collections. Yeah, I'm looking at your stuff, Cherie. It's fine. You could probably find a way to make some money off of this. Are you involved with Simpatico Studios at all? Another very what I was going to say is, if you use poses, you know, make your own poses, save those poses out. And if you don't know how to do it, Google it or look for it on YouTube, because it's not difficult. Make a pack of 10 or 15 poses, learn how to create the mirrors of those, and then have the mirrors. And next thing you know, you'll have a nice little product. Put it on Renderosity. Not tough to get through their testing. You know, they have standards, but you can meet those standards. So, yeah. Then you'll be making a little something. I'm not going to say it's a lot. I've done a lot. I've worked there for a lot of years, and I think I'm number 80, 84, something like that right now, overall there. And, you know, I'm not making a ton of money. So, I mean, but I make enough to support some of my other art. That's really kind of my goal with it anyway. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Kind of getting into the idea of having a little strip here now, like a little comic strip. Side to side. I don't know what it would be about, but I've got this going on. So she is maybe suddenly aware of something outside her window. Going to create the camera. And then I have an idea. Cam, spooked cam. I'll set the cameras details up a little bit later. Okay, I'll do it now. Yeah, I'm going to have a big wide depth of field because I want there to be something out the window. Spook cam, boom. Going to save this for a second. Going to go back here. The cool thing about it, it's like it will only add, like I'm going to add something to this scene, and it will only take just as long to, you don't have to reload the entire scene. You got to, so let's see here. Alright, so that scene is saved. I'm going to make a new scene to create like my rider chasing the window. He's going to be riding the Steam Dragon. I have wanted this Steam Dragon for years. I didn't think it was quite nice enough, to be honest with you. So I ended up not getting it, but man, let's see if why is it calling it a prop? Is it really a prop? Okay. Definitely want the Steam Dragon guns on there, of course. Duh. Oh, they don't go into place. That's bullshit. Fit to Steam Dragon. Oh, what a crock of shit. That doesn't work at all. Looks like you're sort of expected to place it where it needs to be. That's okay. I'll do that for now. Anywho, poses. So let's go. Yeah, this is not a great product, but that's okay. I'm going to be able to make it work. So that's really what I was after. Anyway, get it in flight. Now I'm going to go back and look for a way to have me a different kind of Steam Pilot. So Cherie, you know how to do mirrors. All right, so I'm catching up your reading here. But the time's having a high. Okay, so I understand stress. So my laptop couldn't keep up with workload. Hardware can be tough sometimes, but you can work in wire shaded mode. Let's say that this laptop were not the beast that it is. I could always do this, or even that, or even that, to work with it, to make it like easier to work with, as far as the camera handling it. And you can make your own poses for sure. Man, I did I thought that I think I've already built an M3 character, and since I'm not going to have to do a ton of posing with this character, I might look into this if he's on here. So I think it's under blah 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 blah. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. I think it's under people. Brento Creations. M3. No, come on. Damn, I know I've done this. I know I have done this because I customized his textures on his outfit, and it was an old crap poser outfit. Ooh, this guy's awesome, and he's on Genesis too. This is the Time Traveler by Oscarson. I can never say his name right, but Bowski, aka Warren, did a little work on this suit and made the textures just amazing. If you're not hip to his Laura Croft themed comic, you need to check out Bowski.com right now. Do not delay, because it is super impressive, the quality of renders he's able to achieve. Really nice. Really, really nice. Okay, Steam. Gonna go back here. Gonna make this. So we got the pose there. Time Traveler. Pilot 1. We got. Oh, this was actually made back in the era of M3, which is interesting. Okay, so for my edification, I'm going to go with texture shaded. So just going to take this guy, put him in place. But yeah, back to the poses. I promise you, if you put out one pose pack a week, you look at your, actually this is an experiment that we're doing right now, me and JD Strider. Think of it this way: to do your README and all your promos and stuff, you just do it one time. It's a lot of work the first time, but then like save your README and then just change the parts relative to a new the new product, and you know the name of the product, do a find and replace, and you're literally halfway there. And then the promos, just create a Photoshop template and just, you know, have your text the same with your username, and then just change out the name of the product. It's really not that complicated, and I think you'll find that you can turn out most folks would be able to turn out a set per week if you could give yourself a goal of, say, okay, I'm going to put 2 hours a day on this. Now you might not be able to do that, but if you could, 2 hours a day, you could produce a decent pose product every single week. And I promise you, if you release a product a week, doesn't even have to be a good product, I mean, you know, but produce a product a week, you're going to climb on that chart. Your name and recognition is going to climb, and you will start to make, maybe not a lot of money, but you'll make some sales every single week at the end of the month, or if you choose to be paid, you know, every 2 weeks, although you have to pay the PayPal fees if you do that, so I recommend every month. But you're going to find yourself making, you know, 50, 100, maybe 200, who knows. I earned about $500 this past month on my monthly payday. I'm number 80, so it goes up. Now I'm told that the people that get into the top 20 or so are really making decent money. I don't know that I'll ever achieve that, but my goal is to kind of really get under that top 25, and I'm trying to do that by consistency, just having some product released every single week. This is a goal that JD and I are kind of undertaking together, and man, this is whack. But so far, when we started this experiment, he was like something like 300. On the 90-day ranking. I was something like 170. Now I am 80 on the 90-day ranking or so, and he's like just over the 100. So I mean, it works. It works. So it's up to you, but my thought is, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Doesn't matter how good you are if they don't see something coming out from you. And you know, Renderosity is a different marketplace than Daz. When you've mastered Renderosity, try to get on at Daz. Although they're being tougher and tougher now. Daz has its pros and cons as well, like any place, you know. But you can make some money. I have made good money at Daz and Renderosity, but particularly at Daz. But it doesn't always work out like that. That's for sure. Just because you're at Daz and you make, I have had months since I've been seriously marketing at Daz where I made like less than $10. I have had, you know, time at Daz when I made, you know, in the thousands, but that's rare. And I'm sure there's people out there that are knocking back thousands of dollars pretty much each and every month. You know, Stonemason comes to mind, but you know, his work is on a whole other level. So you can't have, you know, your expectations have to meet your commitment and your ability, I find. And for me, I am not, it's funny because I'm not really trying to do this professionally. It's just part of my hobby that I try to make a little money off of it, so I'm not just putting out money constantly, you know. That's my thought process on it anyway. So like, for example, I'm making this picture. This product has not been upfitted for iRay, but I'm making a pose that did not exist before for it. So I could turn this pose into put it in a little folder and just call it retrofitted poses or something like that. And it could be, the gimmick could be that I'm using, I'm making a pose for G1 through 8 for old vehicles, you know, that Daz has released in the past. It may not be all iRay vehicles, but like, you know, probably thousands of people have bought this Steam Dragon. And if I sold that for, you know, $2 on there, some people would go, you know what? I've got that Steam Dragon. I'm a completist. I want to. I'm not going to that kind of trouble here, guys, obviously, but you see my point, right? The problem with trying to make your money off of other artists that are trying to make money is that they see spending as losing money. That's we're fickle. Like I was talking to Elaine CK, and she's amazing. I mean, her renders are incredible, and I tried to come together with her for on a number because what I wanted to do was pay her. I had a couple of really big products that I already had a lot of money in developing, and I was releasing them. And I was this is before I started doing direct sales at Daz. I was just releasing it on my own, and I thought, I look at her renders and I want to buy her stuff, even though her light products do not produce the kind of renders that she makes, because it all comes down to her artistry being so good. You can't bottle that. But I talked to her, and we almost got together on a number, and we didn't quite, unfortunately. So you know, no hard feelings, because I mean I know she's trying to make a living off of this, but yeah, her work is amazing, and I was like, man, I know what'll happen here. I would go ahead and pay a little more and pay her price, but then I'm probably going to lose money on that. And at the end of the day, I'm not in it to lose money. So therein lies the rub. And that's why you're going to have difficulty marketing yourself to people as a promo artist, Not to say it can't be done, because I use promo artists, but it's a different kind of arrangement. They are part of a bigger group, and they basically just get a ton of free stuff for doing these promos, and they kind of are allowed to work on their own terms, what they want to do, how they want to do it, and I use what I choose from that. So, it's interesting, but I don't think any of those people, and some of those people are just, trust me, they dwarf us both. I mean, there are some artists on there that are just incredibly talented, and and they're not making money at it. So it's a codex, it's a riddle wrapped in a conundrum, and it can be cracked, but you got to spend time trying to figure out how you can crack it. Unfortunately, I wish I had a better answer than that. How do you make money at Poser, or this stuff? How do you make money? Period. I have worked myself into a corner here. This character is like, this place is really, really short. I don't like this overhang here. It's kind of messing my plan up for this character. So I'm trying to like lower him. So I've pinned the hands. That's just okay. That might work. It's not perfect, and I would never sell that pose, but it's I think it might be workable for this. So shit. Pardon my French. There we go. Just trying to make it look good. Okay. So we're just gonna parent the time traveler to this dude. And I think I already ran the converter. If I didn't, I need to now. Vert converter. Definitely don't need to touch these are already IRA shaders. So let's do that. Don't want to mess with the bodysuit, boot buckles, none of that shit. Actually, really, how do I select none? And then I want to go with, I just want to focus on I'm going to have to break off pretty soon. I'm heading out to the park to fly my drone and work on some new HDRI products since it's really perfect fall. Hey, Sonia! What's up? Oh, I completely agree with you on the promo statement you just made. Back before I started kind of focus more on putting out content myself, I've probably worked for 3 or 4 different sites doing promo art. Or testing just to get those products because yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of person that if I don't have some sort of arrangement like that, I spend way too much on this stuff, and unfortunately that still bites me today. I'm a completist too. Like when the bundles come out and you're going to get the best price right when they come out, and you're like, do I really need another mail-in? But God, it looks so good. We put out, Cherie, we put out a video with tips and tricks on the horror host distress. I suspect that if you tried the same thing that's giving you trouble on the horror hostess dress on another dress of similar type, it would also be problematic. D-Force, I am by no means a master of it. Sometimes I end up having better results when I lift the character off the floor with a long dress like that, memorize that pose, and then kind of go to the timeline method instead of doing the simulate from single frame method, which most folks tend to favor. If that makes any sense to you. I think you're probably like me, just a casual D-Force user, and I'm also working on a laptop here, and when you are, sometimes D-Force can really take a lot of resources and not work out right at all, unfortunately. Okay. So I am now trying to pull this steam dragon into the composition. So, spooked cam. That's pretty cool right there. I want the guy to be looking at her. Like, hey, I'm going to shoot through your window anytime now. What do you think about them apples? You like apples? Get back to the steam dragon. Pull it forward just a little bit. Rocket. Nope, not like that. It's getting kind of cool. A little more dynamic. A little more dynamic. Okay. So Sonia, I'm working on the Jack Tomalin's iRay server, and I've already uploaded the scene. So now, like little add-ons like this, just take a short time. Once you spend that initial 20 minutes to upload those resources for that scene, it holds that, and you can just do multiple versions of it and get things tweaked out. Just so add new cameras, whatnot. Oh yeah, don't be jealous. You should try it too. as much as you render, it's worth it. I mean, you could think about this, okay? So, you're getting your scene, you got the big work built, and then you got to like run off how many different renders to get it just right, and that's taking your system resources up and basically hits, putting you dead in your tracks until it renders off. So you can use this service. I mean, if you get it's not super popular yet, so not a lot of people are using it. So you get like no priority, which is $50 a month, but it's unlimited. You can set up your renders to run as long as you want. Once they get to his side, you're just working on the next version of it, or the next angle, or the next promo, or whatever. And who cares if it takes his machine 6 hours to render it? That's what you're paying for, you know. And you get all that ready, get yourself about like 50 renders, and doesn't necessarily have to be 50 scenes either, just different cameras. Get 50 or so ready to go in there and, get that for a month, $50, knock out all those renders. Gosh, it's totally worth it. I'm not going to do it every month, obviously, but $50 for unlimited renders, that's not bad. I'm going to give a full-on proper review of his service, because there are some issues, which I'll outline later. I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm up on it. I for sure would recommend it to anybody that makes products or needs to have like the professional promos without having to take like all that time to tie down your machine. I've got 2 machines, so it's less of an issue for me, but some folks just with the one laptop, that's, yeah. Oh, I hear you. You Sonia, do you have the render all cam script that DAS PAs? Um, I think it came from the DAS PAs. I'm not sure. It's not commercial though. Someone gave it to me. I'd have to figure it out. And there's free ones out there as well. If you don't, I could point you in the right direction, because you can set up cameras and tell DAS Studio to render all cameras with the given render settings, and it'll do that. You just walk away from it and come back with however many cameras you had all rendered out in the folder. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chat me up. We'll see if I can find that for you. Oh shoot, I am for sure running out of space. That should take care of that for now. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had a little problem with one of my drives, although I'm not really using that drive, so it's really weird that it got filled up. Anywho, moving on to the next. I got a real specific shot in mind right here. I don't really want the dragon in that shot, so I'm just going to go right here and kind of make it more about this guy. It's pretty awesome. Call this one Aces High. Aces High! There go the sirens that warns of the air raid. Then come the sounds of the gun sending flak. Out for the scramble, we've got to get airborne. Iron Maiden, greatest band there ever was or ever will be. Aces High. What did you do for the webinar? The digital art webinars are really good. I like those. I've purchased several of those. I'm actually going to get that one on D-Force because, man, that's one area I could really use to stand to improve in. I'll say this. If you don't get paid, that's wrong. You should get paid because they're turning around selling, you know, what you're teaching, presumably. A buddy of mine did some stuff for Dream Light at one of his clubs and didn't get paid, and the sheer amount of emails that I got advertising that really pissed me off because I'm like, dude, you're not even giving them like $50 or whatever. I mean, give me a break. It's crazy because that dude is like a monster email marketer. Big time. Big time. I'm going to just use the same camera. Actually, you know what? I'm not. Create a new camera. Wait a minute. Let's go back here. About broke my own convention. That's nice. I think I want to dispense with these because I don't like where they went. Steam Dragon Guns. Here we go. Not quite sure what that'll look like because there's no ground underneath him. Oh, good. I thought so because he strikes me as professional. Oh, I love Dreamlight. Don't get me wrong. I buy plenty of stuff from him, and I've actually, you know what? It's funny because I don't feel like I'm saying anything bad. I'm just giving my honest feeling about like his product, and I've mentioned this to him directly. I was like, dude, love your stuff. I think you're amazing. You obviously have great skills as a photographer, which translate great because I know you make great art. But here's the thing. I don't want to watch you go down the path to the mistake. That's my number one complaint. That, and please don't ever record with food in your mouth. Those two things. But I mean, it's not a big deal. But really what turns me off though is that when I join his clubs, which I've done many times, I bought so much stuff from him, but like that female art club, for example, and he's got like one for every different like space art club, you know, he just takes it too far, you know, and it starts to irk me and aggravate me, and I'm like, look, I just spent like, a good bit of money with you. Why are you still marketing like a hollow variation on the exact same thing to me? You should have a way of knowing that you've already sold me this or something very, very similar. Wow, that angle looks really cool. Create a new camera here. New camera. Attack flyer. Accept. Nice. Yeah, the website kind of sucks. I'll just stop right there. Yeah, yeah. I think he's talented though. But yeah, that hearing about like the invited guest teachers or whatnot not getting paid, that pretty much cheesed me off. I haven't bought anything since then, which is not to say I won't. I'm sure I will. He'll come up with some brilliant stuff that I feel like I've got to have it, and I'll get it. But yeah, same feeling about the website as well. But moving on to positive things, this is looking cool. So I don't know if I showed you yet since you're on here, Sonia, but I will show you. So like you basically log into the server. You can see what's in the queue. So I see that like this was added 8 hours ago and had a couple of this person's, it's anonymous. I don't know who these people are in front of it. And these are really, really long renders. So they took a while to get to mine, but I got a couple in today. So I just start in the morning at home and I start, came up, by the way, my laptop also, which I have a gaming laptop, also auto upgraded to 10, and now I can't do the restore thing. I'm going to have to maybe seek out the original restore DVD if I or CD or whatever if I ever want to go back. But I don't know, it runs decent now. But it really kind of irked me that happened because I had a lot of cool backup functionality with it when I got it from Amazon. Anyway, so I can see my things that are queued up, and if they were partially done, I could even see a preview of them. Unfortunately, you can't see previews of other people's stuff. But then, anyway, so I start first thing in the morning, and I just pelt it, or whenever, so that whenever it gets to it, and lots of times there won't be anybody in front of me, so it'll be working on my stuff all day because he doesn't have a ton of people on there right now. So I take the non-prioritized price, which is $50 a month. But then once it's done, I mean, I can go in here and see how things turned out before I download it. If I like it, I can download it and come up with the really high resolution file, which is so easy to just fix anything because you can it's like 4K or whatever you set it up. Oh, that is one thing. When you set up 4K, obviously it takes longer to render, but like check this out. I'll just open this for you in Photoshop just so you have a sense of why the service is just so bombastic. So, but for a person that makes promos, you could just, gosh, you could set them all up in one day and then go back the next day and then just go through and pick them out and see what needed to be fixed. Or some of them might be bad enough you don't want to download it. Just save your time there. And you haven't worn your machine out. You haven't tied it up all night. It's a productivity thing. I could easily justify it, but I pay $54 a month for the Adobe Creative Suite, which I've purchased multiple times at the price tag of about $1,100 for earlier versions. Now I could go back to those earlier versions and not pay that subscription, but the new functionality, of course, I have much better workflow with the new stuff. So I keep justifying it because I make at least that a month on video editing. So, but check this out. So I'm going to give you a sense for the pure scale of this render. I'm just going to go view 100%. Now this is some high-end definition right here. This is at 4K. So let's say I wanted to remove a blemish or there was a dot. I could easily just clone anything out at this level. Like, look at this. Okay, I'm going to give you an example here. So deforce was a little funny for some reason on this shoulder. I don't like that there's a harsh point right there. So I'm just going to like clone it out at 4K using the background to kind of replace it. And I promise you, you will never notice this. When the version that I post on my thread at Daz, you'll never have a clue that this edit was made. So that's the benefit, obviously, of and on there you can. I have rendered some stuff at 5K. I find 5K just doesn't make that much difference. When you get over 4,000, it's going to be about the same. So just a little subtle work there. So put it all on screen. Do an auto tone. Image size. Take it down to, that's not even quite 4K. Take it down to 2,000. And then I just save as, and I add the word web. So I know which one to upload. Webo! Okay. Delete. Okay. Um, Suge Sage. Woohoo! Gotta get my flow, gotta get my flow, gotta get my flow. Yeah, I should have called this render board intense flurries of renders whenever I feel like taking the time to do them. I know it's boring, but I want to have them on there because I think those colors look so amazing. But I'm going to submit one here that's raw, and just ultimately at the forum level you don't see the difference because I'm sizing it down essentially. Very nice. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that one's already up. And the way I can tell, like if I lose my place or whatever, is I can go back here and simply go to the queue. And then I should see attack flyer. Yep. So like this, I'll be like pretty much co-oping the server all night, unless somebody that comes along that's paid for the extra level, which is an extra 25 bucks for medium priority, or like ultimate supreme god priority or whatever, is like 100 bucks, which is crazy. Why would you? So now I want to get some tight shots. Kind of want to get him looking down through his gun barrels, but I don't know if that's going to work out. It's my world, squirrel. We will make it work out. Okay. There we go. There we go. New camera. Sinister pilot. Okay, camera. Boom, 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 boom. Now that I see that the right time has come, my prediction will surely be true. The impending disaster looms, and the whole of the village is doomed. Why won't they listen to me? Is it so hard to understand that I am a real seventh son? Your life or death on me depends. Okay. Sinister pilot. Yeah, 2,500 will get it done, but in my case, sometimes I don't spend so much time on the lighting, putting the old ghost lighting in there and stuff to make it perfect. So this will help me compensate for that by being able to correct. No, I can't roll my laptop back because it was originally a Windows, I guess, 7 laptop, and when it upgraded to Windows 10, it destroyed the ability to use the built-in software that stays on like a partition drive to roll it back, so that sucks. Now I want to get like a 2 aircraft shot He's flanked her, and he's got like, oh, I'm going to have to separate them a little bit more. It looks like there's some, in a real world situation, I guess if the steam wings were flapping, he'd be apt to get smacked any old time. Smacked out of the sky, kind of. So we can, unfortunately, it's going to mess up the other cameras, but I guess I could always move it back. Oh, that's not what we need. Sinister, there we go. You know, I don't know if these go up, but it'd be cool if they did. Let's check this out for a second and see if there's a pose to put those up. I guess there's not. Base wheels. Wheel spin. You can spin the wheel, you just can't raise it. Okay. There goes the siren that was of the air raid. Then come the sounds of the gun sending flak. Out for the scramble, we got to get it on. Got to get up for the coming attack. Jump in the cockpit and start up the engines. Remove all the wheel blocks, there's no time to waste. Now, I think this angle is going to reveal that I'm using the wrong kind of HDRI, and I might have to change that for this shot. But that's okay, we can do that if we need to. Oh, I see Rihanna's store is on sale at 60% off. Probably the #1 earner at Renderosity. Pretty shrewd. Let's check my stats. I was telling you what my stats were. I haven't looked. Okay, that works. Let's call it, I'm going to try 2 different things here. Dogfight 1. This far away, having the, oh, that's better. Much better. I'm not even going to like make a new camera for this because it doesn't matter that I've got the light on with the perspective cam. Doesn't even really matter. Actually, doesn't matter at all. Editor, Dogfight 1. HDRIs are high dynamic range images. See you later, Sonia. Yeah, basically you can pull your environment lighting from these images. You take them by using an app or whatever that will take, like, instead of just 1 photo, it'll take 1 to 6 photos. Actually, it'll take a minimum of 3 with various levels of exposure. You combine that into what's called a radiance file. Photoshop has an automation for this. And you can take that radiance file, pull it into DAZ, set it up as a 3D dome, and it basically will provide your lighting, so you don't have to put like a gazillion different little light orbs out there. It's really, really cool. Actually, we make these for our release on Renderosity. I'll show you an example of one that we just released. Marketplace Home. Let's see where we're at here. Oh man. Let's find it a different way. So marketplace, items, active products. Oh, should have turned that off. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, here we go. So I went on vacation and took these at a really cool man-made lake. It looks a lot like you're in Sweden because it's early in the morning, like rain's coming in, and there's low-hanging clouds, lots of perfect diffuse light. And we create this little pack where you load it up and it provides the lighting. Then you can rotate the dome, change the shadow depth, stuff like that. It's just presets, you know, that we make. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and we'll have all kinds of different ones of these. I mean, I've got like a early dawn sunrise, stuff like that, for example. So yeah, that's kind of what's up there. Pretty cool stuff. And that's back to that trying to release something every single week, you know, so we can stay up there in the rankings. Well, I think that I'm about ready to have to head out to the park here, and it's cool hanging out with you guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And the plan as of now, that pack is from, it's called a place called Watauga Lake. It's a reservoir. No. The pack, the one I'm using with the planes is called, I believe it's called Distant Hills. Let's see. Hills. Yeah, Green Hills Sky Dominates GRI. It's from Daz. You can get it at Daz. But yeah, perfect for making quick compositional stuff. Okay, so I think that I just wonder something. Am I able to rotate these wings? I am. No. They stay fixed. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to run out and do some work, and I'll stop the stream now, and I'll just remind you guys that the plan is, oh, thank you, Cherie. The plan is to stream some stuff Sunday evening, sometime after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be with JD, and we'll do some sort of tutorial. You guys can shoot me messages for what if you have anything that you'd like for us to illustrate, but we typically start working on new products and then just kind of, you know, blend in some sort of teaching aspect to it while we're doing that. But otherwise, you guys have a fantastic Saturday, and maybe we'll see you Sunday after 5. Have a good one.